So we're gonna do a quick update video. I finally got the last 3 tanks to this 12 tank 10-gallon rack system. Today they weren't on sale. There was a bunch of stuff on sale at PetSmart. I don't know if it's like a regional though. I find that, you know, I get a sale at one PetSmart and I go to another one and they don't have the same sales though, and they don't like honor them either. So yeah, definitely not on sale. So it cost me like $45 for 3 tanks, which is, yeah, more than I want to pay, but it's 10 gallons, so it's not that bad. You know, and I only need 10, so it's really not that bad. But I went ahead and got these because I need to prepare for a couple of shipments that I have coming. I do have open tanks, and I actually resealed a 20-gallon and a 30 long last night. The 30 long got resealed, and tonight hopefully someone's live streaming. I can watch their live stream and then I'll reseal another tank. That's what I've done the past 3 nights. I basically scraped off the silicone because that takes like 2 hours while someone live streams, and then you know, actually putting the silicone on takes like 5 minutes, if that. And yeah, so I do have open tanks. I got a 5-gallon I need to fill up there. It's actually what I need to do today. I actually need to do water changes on my planted tanks, which are doing quite well at the moment. I had some melt back on my Ludwigia Cuba here, and my Ludwigia dark red. Ludwigia Cuba is coming back strong. Like, that's all I know, it's coming back strong. Ludwigia dark red, not really. I probably need to cut it and like replant it. So this tank's doing better. As you can see, the Ludwigia Cuba is coming back. I mean, my red it's coming back. It's fine. The new growth is fine, and that's what you want to watch, is the new growth. I forget what that's called. Mania gracilis. It's not doing like great. It doesn't look good. Ludwigia, whatever the name is, I always forget the name of this one for some reason. It's not a hard name to remember. I just forget it. But that's doing fine. Like, these 3 plants took the least hit. These ones took the, you know, the biggest hit. And, you know, I don't know why that was, that these ones got the bigger hit out of all of these. It looks like everything kind of took a hit, but Ludwigia Cuba did a lot of melting, and then the Ludwigia Dark Red took a lot of melting. But the Ludwigia Cuba, to be honest, I'm not sure if it was just like a transitional melt, because the leaves, it looked like Ludwigia Cuba leaves, but they were a lot broader than I, you know, normally see in Ludwigia Cuba. So it's almost like it put those out and then it melted and then it grew, you know, good looking normal leaves. So yeah, but it's doing good. I think I've decided if I'll either in this update, maybe the next, but this is my wet pet tank right here. I'm not going to say it yet because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to show you. I am going to be doing, like, I'm going to be doing a lot of deworming, probably about 4 to 6 rounds. So I want to get this fish just super healthy as I can, a clean bill of health, and then I'm going to start getting him nice and fat. And I think I'm going to take y'all along for the journey, and like, I got inspired basically by, you know, Zach's Tanks, Crazy Aquarium guy. I love his videos, by the way. It's just an amazing setup. All his tanks are so nice, and he has so many, and his fish selection is great. That guy's got some amazing tanks. So he inspired me because he did a you know, a video on trimming his Amazon puffer's teeth, and he just did it and he shared it with us, and it was I learned so much to see someone do it versus someone just say, well, this is how you do it and this is how you kind of do it. And he said, like, you know, I learned not just from watching him do it, but he also shares, you know, this is what I would have done different, and this is what you should have done or shouldn't have done. And it's really great to have someone share that with you while it happens and catch the footage and give it. That way, it just enriches our community. It makes the knowledge more accessible and more available for all of us for when we decide to go down that path, if we decide to or need to or whatever the circumstances are. It's just good to have that, and it's great to share it. So I'm going to be sharing that soon. I'm going to share it. He's in his first round of deworming meds, so I did put him through like a general cure, a single dose for a week, and he sat with, you know, he sat with meds for the week to watch him. And then I watched him for about 30 days, maybe less than 30 days, but like, I'm moving him out of here because this is going to be his home for maybe a month or two, maybe 3 or 4 months. I don't know, you know. He's going to grow big, but he's in his first round of general cure now. I just did a second dose, so in 2 more days he'll get water changed out, and then we'll hold off for a few weeks. The general cure might not be that harsh of a one, so I might be able to come back with another deworming fairly soon, considering the general cure is probably not going to get in there and like really just knock out any intestinal parasites that he might have. But it is a Fahaka buffer, so, and he's about that big. He's eating live marbled crayfish just all the time. He loves them. I'm trying to get him onto bloodworms as well. He eats them, but it's kind of hard because in here there are a lot of snails, like a lot. I have so many snails in all of my tanks. I immediately put him in, and it just was snail eating time. I just, I dropped him in, and he was just like, oh, whoa, whoa, this is not that bad. There are snails everywhere. All of my tanks are just covered in snails. I've got a bit of a snail factory going, and this is why I got the marbled crayfish and the snail factories going. I've got like tons of just brown mystery snails, so they're whatever doesn't sell for the brown mystery snails because they don't look that great, I'll just grow out and random tanks. They'll be good allergy cleaners, and then eventually I'll have 100 to feed. So when he's fairly big, half a foot long or 8 inches long, or even a foot and a half long at his max, I can just grab a handful of mystery snails, throw them in there, just to vary his diet, give him something different than clams. So varying the diet is very important for any fish. Otherwise, one day, if you're only feeding sinking pellets, one day you feed floating, they're not going to know what to eat. They're not going to know what to do. They're not going to, where's this food? Why is it not falling in front of my face and hitting the ground like normal? I'm having that problem with some killifish now, trying to feed them Corey's floating pellets because I know it's an amazing food, but it's kind of hard. I got to train them to come back to the surface and eat that. So, my fault. I should have, varied the food better, and it's going to take a couple weeks to get them used to eating something different, but eventually it'll happen. I just got back, and actually just got back from Tractor Supply. My list basically comprised of organic chicken crumbles. Now these are for my my worm cultures. I'll go ahead and I'll clip in some worm culture stuff at some point in this video. But these are to feed them. Basically what I'm going to do is I'll grind it up into a powder, and then I can feed them. Now this is going to start the culture. To sustain the culture, actually right before I feed the culture to my fish, what I plan on doing is switching them over to fish food. So any remnants of food in their little, container that I'm keeping them in that make it into the fish tank are just fish food. Or even better than that, what I intend to do is use nutritional yeast, which is even, it's even more nutritional than brewer's yeast, which brewer's yeast is a byproduct of the brewing company. And nutritional yeast is grown and harvested just for, its benefits as far as nutrition and amino acids go. So the worms are taking to it well. And it's something I'm just, experimenting with. But all I know is this is like $26 for 40 or 35 pounds versus $25 for like 4 ounces. So I'll be growing all the worms out on this and getting them big and getting the numbers up. And then once the numbers are where I want them, and I'm going to be feeding them for those last 2 weeks of feeding or 1 week of feeding, depending on how much I harvest. The more you harvest, the longer the worm culture lasts. But I'll be feeding them the nutritional yeast. So I've got this in, and this also I feed to my red wrigglers. They do really well with that. And then over here, this is something I really wanted to share with you guys. So black diamond blasting sand. I learned this from Loop Diesel. I mean, is there a point in me shouting him out? If you don't know who he is, what are you doing with your life? Get out from under that rock. He's an amazing shrimp guy, and I was looking for black substrate forever for these tanks, and basically what I ended up buying was Nat Geo. And you can see here, I even called, Nat Geo is a PetSmart brand. I called them, they lied to me, and they told me, no, it's not painted or epoxied with anything. I said, okay, all right, I'll buy it. The paint is raring off of it. I am not happy at all. Like, I swear the guy didn't even do research when I asked. He was just like, yep, no, it's what you want it to be, so buy it. I was really not happy about that. But those were like $1 a pound, ridiculously high. This right here, I actually had to order to my Tractor Supply, so you can get this from any Tractor Supply. And it turns out they didn't have it in inventory on their website. But it turns out I went there today and I actually saw it sitting on a shelf. And then I kept looking around and I actually saw they had this weird little like cutout. And I don't know how to explain it. It's odd, but like they had like 20 of these bags just hidden right there by like the welding section. So I grabbed 2 of them and I was really happy knowing that I have black substrate that's not, you know, that's basically natural. That I can just go buy whenever I need. So it's perfect and great for all of my Neo shrimp that I'm going to be breeding. But, so on their website, all they sell I think is fine and medium. If I could find this course, that would be just amazing. This is what I have in my tanks now, the 2040. I'm going to look for that 1240, but I'll give you a quick peek. This is a video I'll be doing soon. I've got some cool parts for this. But that's the course, or the 2040. That's not course. So that right there, those aren't small. Those are not like, you know, pool filter sand small. Those are like a pretty coarse grain right there. So that's not bad. It will kind of not allow a whole lot of nutrients to flow to roots. It's not going to be great or anything. It's definitely small, but it's not as bad as 90% of the sand that you can buy out there. And I paid less than $10 for 50 pounds. I paid $8.99 and it was just at the store. So definitely guys, if you're looking for cheap substrate, I need to add this to my substrate video. This takes the cake. I mean, this beats everything. So the other ones I get 50 pounds for 10 bucks, 50 pounds for, $8, $7.99, and it looks amazing. Here's another video I'm working on for you guys. This is the 33 long. I've got this dirted and, capped with the sand. And this is just going to be a scape I'm going to work on for you guys. Even got this little jar scape I'm letting cycle. That's one of the things. I need to fill that up with water today and start getting it cycled. But for that tank, I actually have this stuff. I'm gonna see if I can't put this on the back. It's just like a stick-on stuff, and I'm gonna see if I can't cut it to size and stick it on the back. Maybe I'll start using this for tanks. But this is like $8 for. Let's see how much you get. You get 225 square foot, so that's 18 by 15. So 18 inches. That could cover a 55, could it not? So yeah, that actually fits perfect for a 55. That means this would work on a 125, a 75, and that's pretty cool right there. I'm happy about that. But this outside texture, if we can get a good light on it, you kind of see as that leathery grain. Well, that's not the side you're gonna see. The side you're gonna see, and excuse me here, let me try and show you, is the side that you stick on. So that. Now it is almost a little bit grainy. I don't know how it's gonna look once it's actually stuck on. I kind of don't mind. You're gonna get like algae growth and other stuff, and it's black. Black can hide stuff pretty well, but we'll see. I'll be applying this to the back, and that way I don't have to see the stuff. And then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for filtration on that. Maybe what I'm thinking is I'm gonna go with a canister filter. But I've got that. And then I'll be doing a separate video on this because I'm actually making this for my father. But this is just going to be a desktop tank. No fish are going in here. I'm going to throw like five cherry shrimp in here, just basic cherry shrimp. And this is like the little light I'm going to use. That's not working right. I actually bought the wrong voltage light. So basically, to not waste, I had to buy a little transformer. But just a little LED, and you can see the thing is not like, it's not too bad. But yeah, just a little 65K LED, and I'm gonna actually be trying some of these out. I do have a light on the way, but I think I'm gonna be trying some of these out on some other tanks, and I really like it. So it's not bad. but I bought the wrong voltage, so I got to do some wiring tricks to it. But yeah, this is going to be the light for it. I've got some other miscellaneous parts. Going to have a tiny sponge filter, and then I'm thinking I'm going to go with some dragonstone in it. So I've got miscellaneous little smaller pieces of dragonstone in here. I'm also thinking I'm going dragonstone or Sirius stone in there, and then I do have wood pieces for this, and I definitely have some other pieces in here that are going to be kind of not for the tank, but I've got an idea. I've got a really cool idea for this tank, and it's something I've been wanting to do with some extra parts I've had around my house for a while. And yeah, so that's that tank. Alright, so I've got you on the head cam. I hope you guys can see alright. I kind of have to like point my head down for this, so you should be able to see that. But we have our little dish here, and basically we're going to fill it with some water. You can do tank water. I have a lot of tanks, so that would kind of mean that would kind of cause me to swap a lot of tank water around. So I just get a little bit of water in here. Now, this is kind of actually the easy part. You just get your finger wet. Now they're going to come right up. Hopefully you guys are kind of seeing this. I'm sorry if not. This is actually difficult for me because I'm not that tall, and that's like right above my eyesight. So we have our little colony here. I'm just going to get my finger wet and run it along the side. I pull them up off of the side of the container, and this is one way to harvest. Just off of the side, I pull them off the side, and I dip them in the water, and then they just fall off into the water, and that also kind of rinses the dirt off of them, since they're gonna have a little bit of dirt onto them. It'll get some of it off, so I can just kind of continue to do this. I'll pull all of them off the side. Now, what they're generally doing when they're climbing up onto the sides, you know, sometimes they do it, and I don't really know why, but I do know once your soil gets really filled with them, your soil kind of starts to go bad. And you know, part of the reason they actually climb up and out of the soil is to escape it, because it's just bad. It's full of waste from them. You know, you've had them in there for, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for them to get to this number here, if you do it right. And you know, that soil just gets filled with their waste over that period of time. So towards the end, when they get to these high numbers, you know, not only are they, you know, they're basically the reason you can harvest them, I think is what I'm trying to say. Basically, the reason you can harvest them like this is because they're trying to escape the, you know, that dirt. So they will go bad. You will crash cultures. You always want to have a few cultures, I mean, at least 2 going. Otherwise, you're just risking losing everything, because when they die, they're going to just, it'll be a domino effect. When, you know, 100 of them die, it's going to kill another 100, and that 100, you know, is going to turn into 200 and 300. So we got basically all of them off the side, and you can kind of see in here, I've got them all in here, if you can. So now what we're going to do is flip over this glass, and you can kind of see they're all on there. A lot of them are. Now we still have a whole lot in there. All that I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my finger along and just harvest them off this glass. I'm getting some, you can see some dirt. I'm trying to figure out a way that the glass doesn't touch the dirt, and I can, you know, harvest them without, you know, getting any of the soil. This is just peat moss, and I am beginning to start baking my peat moss. It kind of cleans it, but you don't have to. I found that these guys will actually survive, you know, some dirt or soil pests such as soil mites. So we're just gonna rub our finger along. We're gonna get all these guys. I don't think there's anything in that dirt. Rub it on the carpet. Why not? That was smart. So you see all those there. Now we've got the water in here, so that's kind of gonna dilute this dirt, and we can just kind of rinse them off. So still just gonna harvest them. Boom. Boom. Basically all of them. Boom. Alright, so we've basically got all the ones that are easy to get. I'm going to put this glass back on because they've still got food in there. I feed them once a day, so I put that back up. That goes back in there. I know they're you know, not, you know, small enough to fall through this brine shrimp net, so what I can do is just pour them into my brine shrimp net, then pour a little bit of water on them, just like that, okay? And then I can take them, and I hope you guys can see this. It'll be a really bad, you know, video if you can't. But then I can just kind of pour this back on. Boom. And it should be good. It looks like I have them all. And now I've got all those delicious little worms in there. Not delicious to me. I'm not going to eat them. I don't know. I might eat one. But I'd be scared that they would live inside of me. I don't want worms inside of me. But there you go. I'm going to put that back up before I forget. And now you could easily feed those with the pipette, which I'm actually going to go ahead and do. I think my pipettes are in here. And this video is going to be longer than it needs to be because I'm reaching around for pipettes and stupid stuff like that. Well, I'm going to use this pipette because I don't use it for anything. Head back up there and get the hair out of my eye. And then, so yeah, obviously I can just pipette them into this little baby eyedropper thingy quite well. And then feed them off to the fish. So I'm going to get you guys off my head and feed them to the fish. Alright, so hopefully that wasn't like too terribly bumpy of a ride on my forehead. I literally just got that thing in the mail today. So these are my two female low killifish. Right there. Sorry for the glare. I really like this little hood design that I made. It works pretty well. They know to come and swim forward when it's feeding time, so basically I'm just going to harvest some worms in there. Excuse me, so we can see we've got worms in. And they're all gonna, so you can kind of see they all sink. Sorry. You can see they all sink, so I almost want to stir that around. I don't want to feed them all to one tank, you know, so here are the killifish, and just ploop some down in there. They're right there, girls. Yeah, their killifish are a little slow, so they're just looking. They're over here. There you go, honey. Good for you. You figured it out. There's more right there. Go eat them. Alright, so the killifish are just, I don't know, I mean, in my opinion, killifish just seem to be a little, just dumb. That's, I mean, all I can say is they kind of seem dumb. But, you know. Alright, time for this dude. What's up, dude? This guy's a little bit smarter. Still not the smartest. So, oh, why did you just eat that like dirt? I swear he just ate a piece of dirt. So, obviously he's really smart, you can tell. And, yeah. Oh, I had an angle there. There it is. And so they're eating them. They like them. I feel like they're almost too big for my adult, or excuse me, too small for my adult killies. So this is my red dwarf Galaris female. I got her separated from her male, and I'll be placing them back together in like a month or so, and spawning them and giving it my first true attempt to basically spawn them, collect their eggs, and yeah, breed them and hatch out babies and raise up babies. So there she is. Now I've got some eggs. I've got some worms for her. Boop. So just put a little bit right in front of her face because she's pretty dang stupid. And if you don't put them in their face, they kind of just don't really realize it. So that's good food for her. She should she should be good on those for now. And she gets fed 3 to 4 times a day. That's her second feeding of live today. And then we can attempt to feed my my male. What's up, dude? He's depressed. So he lost his girl. I mean, he really liked her too. So I would constantly, every time I would come wake this tank up, they would be sleeping together in their coconut hut or sleeping together under the leaves. They were always together. I mean, he did beat on her for the first, like, you know, few weeks of them being here, and I separated them, and he learned his lesson, and you know, I mean, he really likes her. It's pretty dang cute. So kind of just boop right on him. There you go. I literally pushed those right on him, and he kind of freaked. That was funny. There you go, bud. Eat those. See, they're kind of small for him. Like, I really think for adult killifish, cut up red wigglers and maybe an actual grindle worm is best. These are a little small, so like bloodworm size is really great for them because they have bigger mouths. So that bigger mouth is so they can take in more prey. While they will take in smaller prey, that bigger mouth means that they're able and more likely to want to take in bigger prey. But he's eating them. He will just sit there and kind of get at him. So I'll leave you alone, bud. Let you do your thing.